Hey guys, it's Mackie. We're here for a 30-minute class today, and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up before we get going. So standing with your feet parallel, hip distance apart, soft bend in the knees, and already here start to kind of tuck the pelvis just slightly. So pull the hip bones back so that the sit bones are reaching down towards the mat instead of pushing the bum back behind you. So everything's nice and long and tall, shoulders are stacked right on top of the hips. And we're just going to do some shoulder rolls up, down, and back. For these shoulder rolls, see if we can focus on when you pull inward on the shoulders, we're rounding and internally rotating through the shoulders. And then as you scoot back behind you, opening up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. So round and pull forward, and exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you. Inhale, round and pull forward. Exhale, open up the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades. So it's a little bit bigger here, kind of involving the chest as well. And then when you reach the top, let's switch directions. So round and pull forward, and then exhale, squeeze back behind you. Round and pull forward, internally rotating, and then rotate those shoulders back and up. Okay, let's do two more. Last time. And then pull the shoulders all the way down away from the ears, and then externally rotate here a little bit. So open up the chest, roll the shoulders back, take the hands and we're gonna clasp them back behind our backs. And then we're gonna pull down and out just gently, just slightly. So you start to feel the stretch here, kind of on the outside of the neck. And we're gonna start to roll the head all the way around. Take a nice big inhale. As you lower the neck down, or lower the head down, pull the neck towards the chin. And then exhale as you pull the head all the way back up. So inhale as you lower, and think of your exhale being a string that pulls your head all the way back up to center. One more time, this direction. And the next time your head reaches the top, let's switch sides, switch the breath. So inhale to the right, exhale, pull the head all the way. Inhale, and exhale. Last two. Last time. Nicely done. You're going to unclasp the hands and you're going to reach them all the way up overhead, and this time clasp them overhead. Inverting the hands, reaching the palms up towards the ceiling. Notice as we do this, as we start to reach up, it's really tempting to start to reach the hands all the way up. Notice as we do this, it's really tempting to start to arch the low back and push out through the ribs. See if you can continue to kind of keep the sit bones reaching down and close the rib cage. And then reach even higher up with the hands, reach through the armpits, starting here in the rib cage, moving all the way up through the armpits, up towards the ceiling. We're gonna take a big inhale. And then on your exhale, we're gonna side bend up and over, but lengthen as you go. So reach towards the top of the room, not the side of the room. Inhale, you stand all the way back up. Exhale, other side. Lengthen as you reach. Inhale, grow tall. Both feet are really heavy. Opposite foot pushes down away from the direction that you're moving. Inhale. Keeping the ribs closed. Exhale, you reach. Nicely done. Coming all the way back up. Release the fingers. Arms are going to come down so they're in this cactus shape. Elbows are out wide, just at shoulder height. And then again, close the ribs, right? Really focus on keeping this really solid. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, we're gonna rotate towards the right. Inhale, come center. Exhale, other direction. With these final twists, we wanna focus on keeping the hip bones shooting forward in front of us. So all that we're using to twist is the spine and not the hips. Exhale. So think of the knees and the hips remaining to face forward, and then we just rotate through the upper body. Inhale, center. And last time, exhale, you twist. Very nicely done. We're gonna come all the way back through center here. Hands are gonna come onto the hips. We're gonna stay exactly where we are with our stance. So toes are pointed forward, hip distance apart. We're gonna start with some standing footwork. So you're gonna take a nice big inhale first, keep the sit bones reaching down, chest is nice and open, and then on your exhale, we're gonna lift the heels all the way up towards the sky. Inhale, you lower. Exhale, we lift all the way up. On your lower, this is slow, right? Really nice and controlled. So instead of letting gravity just pull you back down so that you're collapsing the feet back onto the mat, really see if you can move nice and slow and resist that pull back down. Exhale, you lift, pull up on the kneecaps. Inhale to lower. Good. Try not to rock back as you come down, but see if you can stay super strong and super straight. Lift. Low. Good. Keep going here. We're gonna go for 5. Exhale, you lift. Think about the inner thighs pulling towards each other and shooting yourself straight up like a rocket. Last 3. Last 2. Nicely done. Last time, we're gonna lift and we're gonna hold here. We're gonna keep the heels lifted. You're gonna bend the knees just slightly, keep those heels lifted, keep the sit bones reaching down, right? So scoop the belly in. It's a little pulse up and down. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Try not to let the heels lower as you lower in your pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly keep the heels lifted. You stand all the way back up nice and tall, and then let the heels come all the way down. Nicely done. Okay, we're gonna knock those heels in. So we're coming into our Pilates V. Inner thighs are really hugging as much as you can and squeeze the heels into each other. We're gonna raise up those heels again and lower, and we're gonna keep them squeezing and touching. So exhale, you lift, pull inward, pull towards the center. And inhale, you lower. Exhale, you lift. Keep those heels touching, keep them pulling together. And lower. Good. Sit bones reaching down towards the mat. Very nice. 6. All 10 toes here, so try not to just fall onto the outside edges of the pinky toe. Really push down with the whole ball of the foot. Last 3. Final 2. Last one, lift and lower the toes all the way down. Okay, we're gonna keep the heels on the mat to start. You're gonna bend the knees, they're gonna reach out past the toes. This is a small little squat. You're gonna keep the heels pointing together. And then on your exhale, we're gonna stand all the way up. Push down, really feel these adductors opening out to the side. Exhale. So nice stretch here in the outside of the glutes. Down and up. Good. 5. This is small. 4. 3. 2. Big stretch back here. Last one. Nicely done. All right, we're gonna lift the heels now up off the mat again. Keep them squeezing into each other. Keep the thighs squeezing. Same bend at the knees, now with our heels lifted. So we lower down halfway and then stand all the way up. Lower down halfway like an elevator. Exhale, you reach up. Oof, this is getting tough. Lower. Remember all 10 toes on the mat, sharing the weight evenly. Lower down. Upper body's really still. 6. Maybe look a little bit higher. 5. Same thing as when our toes were pointed forward. You pull up on the kneecap as you lift. 3. Last 2. Here we go, last one. We're gonna stay nice and low here. Scoop in at the belly, pull the belly button back towards the spine. Get the little pulse up and down. Little lift and lower. Push the heels together, squeeze the thighs together. You got it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the heels lifted. Slowly lift all the way up. Straighten the knees and lower. Nicely done. Roll over the toes just for a second here. And we're gonna come out to a wider stance. Toes are gonna start turned inward. So reaching towards the front of the room, parallel. The feet are just a little wider than hip distance apart. You can keep the hands onto the hips here. And it's the same deal. On the exhale, We're gonna lift all the way up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Notice if you feel any difference here in the feet, in the calves, in the inner thighs, with the feet being further apart. Lift and lower. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Nice and slow, remember? And try to keep the knees from knocking inward. Really think about them staying nice and in line and pull up on the kneecaps as you rise. And down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go. Last one. We're gonna lift and we're gonna hold the heels up, bend the knees slightly, and lift all the way up. You got it. Ooh, there we go. Down and up. Starting off with balance. Ooh, it can be tricky. Exhale, you lift. 5, 4. Straighten the legs all the way. Full extension. 3. Last 2. High up on the balls of those feet. Last time we hold low, we hold, hold, hold. Knees are bent. It's a little pulse in and out. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Squeeze the thighs. Pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up straight first and then lower the heels down. Ooh, nicely done. That one really on the outside edges of my feet. I can feel it. And then we're going to turn the toes out, turn the heels in. Last iteration here. Scoop the belly, reach the sit bones all the way down. You know what's coming. On an exhale, lift those heels all the way up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Down and up. Exhale. Go for 6. 5. Squeeze the calves. Pull up on the kneecap. 4. 3, 2. Last one we lift and we hold here. Bend at the knees, reach them out nice and wide here. The toes are pointing out, knees are going out with them. Exhale, you straighten the legs all the way up. This is the last iteration. Lower down and lift all the way, straight legs. Pull up on the knees. You got it. Down. You have 6. 5. Opening up through the hips here. Final 4. 3. Evenly distribute the weight through all 10 toes. Last 2. Here we go. Last one. We're going to hold halfway down. Hold, hold, hold. Keep those heels lifted, lifted. And then it's a little up, a little down. Lift, lower. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up first. Straighten the legs. Slowly lower the heels all the way down. Nicely done. Okay, roll out the feet. Roll over the toes. Great work. Quick little hip shake. And we're going to make our way to the back of the mat. Feet are parallel hip distance apart. Soft bend in the knees. Take a nice big inhale. Reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, nod the chin, scoop the belly round and roll yourself all the way down, fingertips towards the mat. We're gonna walk ourselves out in 4 counts and we're gonna try and keep the legs straight the whole time. So lean yourself forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna lower the knees down onto the mat. We're gonna do 3 push-ups. So broad through the back body first, protract the shoulders. Fingertips are pointed forward. Neck is nice and long, gazing just at a spot right in front of the mat. We're gonna take an inhale as we lower and bend the elbows back behind. Lower the nose down. Exhale, shoot yourself up. Inhale, lower. Exhale. One more. Down. And lift. Curl the toes back underneath. Tense the hips up. And start to walk all the way back to your hands in 4, keeping those legs straight. Let the head hang. Take a big inhale. Exhale, slowly start to roll yourself all the way back up. We're gonna do 2 more sets, just like that. Take a nice big inhale, reach up. Exhale, nod the chin, scoop the belly, dive forward. Really see if you can round even more through the spine as the fingertips come towards the mat. We're gonna keep the legs straight. We're gonna walk out in 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower the knees all the way down onto the mat. We're in one straight line from the head all the way to the knees. Think about the lengthening through the neck. Reach even longer and push up and away from the mat. Here we go. Inhale, lower, bend both elbows back behind. Exhale. Elbows bend behind, you lower. Exhale, lift and reach forward with the head. Last one, down and lift. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, tense the hips. Stretch through the hamstrings as you push the heels back towards the mat. And without bending the knees, walk back in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let the head hang. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, soft bend in the knees. Slowly start to roll all the way up. Standing head comes up last. On this last one, we're going to go into a full push-up, high plank, big inhale. Exhale, nod the chin, scoop the belly, round and dive forward. At the bottom, keeping the legs straight, out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, toes are onto the mat. Your shoulders are right above your wrists. You're reaching the heels back behind you. Slightly shift the weight forward just a tiny bit here. Take a nice big inhale as you bend both elbows, lower down. Exhale, push up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, you lift. Final one. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift all the way up. And then bend both knees. Sit back into a child's pose. Couple big breaths. Slowly go ahead and sit yourself all the way up onto your heels. We're gonna just turn so that we're on the long side of the mat. We're gonna come into high knees here. Arms are gonna come out nice and long. You've got about a fist's worth of space between the legs. A slight little imprint here, right? So the hip bones are kind of curling back. You're scooping the belly, reaching the sit bones down towards the floor. Arms are gonna start nice and long. You're gonna start with that left hand. You're just gonna lean yourself over to the side and place that hand all the way down. Fingers are pointing out and away from you, and you're gonna extend the right leg nice and long. Lifting up out of the left leg, reach up towards the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling with the fingertips, right? So protracting here through the shoulders. And then with the hip centered and square, so instead of opening up the hip or closing the hip, you really wanna keep it nice and square, so big toe touches down onto the mat. And on your exhale, you lift it straight up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, you lift. Good. Down and up. Lower and lift. So we could go a lot higher if we externally rotated the hip right and leaned back a bit. You could lift the leg much higher. Goal here is to keep the hips square, keep them stacked as you lift and lower. 5, 4. Can you reach the leg even longer? Point the toe even more. 3, 2. Last one, we lift and we hold here. A little pulse up and down. With each pulse, make the leg even longer. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold here. We're gonna draw little tiny circles forward out of the hip. Do not let the upper body move. See if you can get that feeling of hip disassociation as the femur moves through the hip socket. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch the direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the toes all the way down. Before we come up, push that foot down into the mat, and instead of using the leg and the foot to pull yourself up, see if you can really use the obliques, the inside core. So instead of pushing off with the hand, you're gonna take a big inhale, and then on your exhale, lift yourself all the way up. Nicely done. All right, we're gonna keep this leg long, point the toes forward, hips stay facing forward, and then hands are gonna come back behind the head. We're gonna take a nice big inhale. We're gonna lean to the left, but as opposed to just bending straight in half, see if you can lean and make a length nice and long from the toe all the way to the crown of the head. Nice diagonal line. Big inhale. Exhale, pull yourself all the way up. Inhale, lean and lengthen. Exhale, you lift. Inhale. exhale, pull the belly button back towards the spine. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Reach. Then all the way up. Nicely done. Okay, place the knee back down onto the mat. We're gonna go onto the other side. So hands are gonna come out by your side. And we're gonna lean towards the right side. Place the hand down, fingers pointed away. Left toes are out beside you. Open up that chest, right? Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Hip is square. On your exhale, lift and lower. Up and down. Perfect. 5. Keep trying to touch the ceiling here with the left fingers. 4, 3, 2. Last one, we lift and we hold a little pulse. Make that leg even longer. Hold on the kneecap. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold here. Hip disassociation. We're drawing those circles forward. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Switch the direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the toes all the way back down. Place the foot down. Now instead of using the hand to push yourself up, instead of using the legs to carry you, see if you can just use the core here. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, pull yourself all the way up. Nicely done. Foot stays down onto the mat. Point the toes forward so you kind of have this anchor in the foot here that keeps you from sliding as you lean. Hands are gonna come back behind the head. Elbows are nice and wide. Close the rib cage. Try to avoid pushing all the way out and open, and keep the ribs closed. Keep the belly scooped. Big inhale as we lean and we lengthen. Exhale, pull yourself up. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. You've got 5, 4, 3. Final 2. Last one. Lean, lengthen. Then come all the way up. Nicely done. Hands can come down. Knees gonna come all the way back. Sit back on the heels. Turn towards the long ways of your mat. Long way of your mat. And then you're just gonna take the legs, reach them out in front of you. And we're gonna lower ourselves all the way down. Feet are gonna come flat onto the mat. Knees are pointed up towards the ceiling. You've got about a fist worth distance in between the legs. Feet are hip distance apart. We're gonna start with the hands down by the side, pushing down into the mat. We're gonna roll up into some bridges. So we're gonna start with that little neutral spine, and on an inhale, you're gonna rock the hips back, closing that space between the low back and the mat. And then on your exhale, you're gonna continue to follow that motion as you roll the hips all the way up to your bridge. Think about the tops of your quads, lengthening here, shooting the knees forward. Take a big inhale at the top. On your exhale, starting with the chest, don't lower the hips first. Lower the chest first, keep the hips rolling back, and then vertebrae by vertebrae. You come all the way down until finally you hit the bottom, you hit the tailbone, and you come back into that neutral spine. Here we go. Inhale, roll the hips back. Keep with the motion, keep rolling yourself all the way up into your bridge. Reach the knees forward. Inhale at the top. Exhale, starting with the chest. Keep scooping the hips back, scooping the abdominals, roll all the way back down. Nicely done. Inhale, you scoop. Exhale, you roll, lift, shoot the knees forward, really strong through both feet. Really push down into the mat here. Inhale at the top. Exhale, starting with the chest. One vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, scoop and rock the hips back. Exhale, roll all the way up. Hold here at the top. Big inhale. Exhale, starting with the chest. Slowly lower all the way down until you get to the bottom and come into neutral. All right, we're gonna do one just to get us all the way up. So take an inhale, rock the pelvis backwards, scoop the hips back towards the ribs. Slowly start to roll yourself all the way up, shoot those knees forward. Front of the body is nice and long. We're gonna hold here and pulse up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Squeeze the glutes, reach the knees. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep lifted here. Keep the hips lifted. We're gonna lift the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Palms are gonna face forward. Instead of tilting the pelvis back and forth here now, we're gonna lower it straight down and lift it straight up. So we're not gonna touch the mat. We're just gonna lower down halfway and lift. The arms, as we lower, we're gonna lower down towards the knee and exhale, lift back up, point the fingers. Lower, down, and up. Lower and lift, down and up. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3. Protract through the shoulders. Try and touch the fingers to the ceiling. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to hold here at the top. A little pulse up the hips. Pulse, pulse, pulse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. All right, we're gonna lift the toes. So peel the toes back towards the face. You're pushing down with the heels. Same exact concept. We're just gonna lower the hips down halfway. This time we're gonna bend at the elbows. Exhale, lift back up. Keep peeling the toes back towards the face, pushing into the heels. The knees are pushing forward, down and up. Really make the connection with the heels. That's where you're gonna start to feel it in the hamstrings. 5. Push down. 4, 3, 2. Last time we lift and we hold here. Nicely done. Little pulse up, pulse up. Push those heels down even more. Really see if you can send your mind to the hamstrings, to the inner thighs, to the heels, instead of the low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold here. We're gonna lower the toes down. Last variation, we're gonna lift the heels up. So we're high onto the toes. Flip the palms so they face each other. And now we're gonna lower those hips down just halfway as you reach the arms back behind you. Exhale, coming all the way back up. Push the balls of the feet into the mat. Exhale, lift. Feel those inner thighs really start to activate. Back of the legs, you got it. 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep reaching with the arms, try and touch the ceiling. Last 2. Here we go, last 1. Reach further away from you. Pull all the way up into your bridge. Lift a little higher on those toes. Pulse up. Push the toes, ball the feet down into the mat. Send your energy there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower, 1 vertebrae at a time. The hips all the way down. Let the heels come down. Take the knees, grab them into your chest. Rock yourself side to side. Up big breaths. Maybe give yourself little circles here. And switch the direction. And then we're gonna place the feet back down onto the mat. Knees are gonna point upward. Tailbone's gonna push all the way down. We're gonna keep the little neutral spine here. So there should be a little space in between the low back and the mat. Feet are pushing down. Hands gonna come back behind the heads. Instead of like what we did with our bridges where we tilted the pelvis back, we rolled all the way up. You wanna keep the pelvis still this time. So push down with that tailbone and don't let that little space close. Try not to rock the hips backwards. We're gonna take an inhale as the elbows reach nice and wide, and on your exhale, we're gonna curl up with the chest. Not super big, right? It's just this upper abdominal curl, and we don't wanna flatten the back. So we're not pushing ourselves all the way up where the back needs to flatten. Inhale, we're gonna lower back down. Here we go again, exhale, curl up. Inhale to lower, exhale. Tailbone pushes down. We're not arching, right? We're just not letting the pelvis rock forward and backward. 6, 5, 4. Each time you exhale, belly button pulls in and back towards the spine. Last 3. Final 2. Here we go. Last time, we're gonna curl up and hold here. It's a little pulse up, little lift, little lift, little lift. It's these upper abdominals, right? It's pulling like a string to pull the upper body. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower everything all the way back down. Nicely done. Maybe send the legs long. Reach the arms back. Let the rib cage flare up. Stretch out the abdominals. Nicely done. All right, legs come back to bend, feet come back on the mat. This time we are gonna imprint, so we're gonna close the space between the low back and the mat, keeping everything glued here. And we're gonna lift one leg up to tabletop and then the other leg up to tabletop. Push that low back down, connect here. Hands are gonna come up towards the ceiling, palms face away from you. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, keep that connection, curl the upper body, reach the chest towards the thighs. Inhale to lower. Exhale, you curl and lift. Pull the belly button down towards the spine. As you curl up, gaze down towards the navel and watch that belly button sink down towards the spine with that exhalation of breath. 6, 5, try not to let the pelvis rock here. Really nice and strong. 4, 3, 2. Here we go. On this last one, we're gonna stay up. We're gonna go into the 100. We're gonna pump the arms through the air, reach the fingers long, inhaling for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 5. So inhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. For the last 30, maybe we extend the legs nice and long. Keep that low back connection. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Release everything all the way down onto the mat. Nicely done. Rock a little from side to side. Draw little circles, and then send the legs nice and long. We're gonna do 3 roll-ups to close us out today. So we want the legs to be squeezing together, heels connected to the mat, so toes are pointed up towards the ceiling, and pull them a little bit back towards your face. So we're flexing the feet here. Arms are gonna reach back behind you. On an inhale, you're gonna lift the arms up overhead, and already here, start to close the ribs. Right? So create this nice tight connection here. Everything's pulling in towards the midline of the body. And on the exhale, nod the chin. Keep that roundness as you reach forward towards the toes. Inhale, start to curl yourself back the way you came. And then exhale, slowly with control, rolling over the glutes. Let yourself come down 1 vertebrae at a time. Reach the arms back behind you. 2 more just like that. Big inhale, arms come up. Close the ribs, exhale, nod the chin, continue to round, roll all the way up, reach towards the toes. Inhale, start your way back down, and you get kind of halfway. Exhale, roll over the glutes, squeeze the glutes here, 1 vertebrae at a time, reach back behind you. Last one, we're gonna stay up. Big inhale, reach long, arms come up, close the ribs, exhale, nod the chin, reach forward, grab the toes. Maybe hang on to the outside edges of the feet or the shins if you want to. Kind of pull back and feel that stretch in the low back. Couple big breaths. And slowly release and sit yourself all the way up. That was your 20-minute full body class. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.